Have you ever just stood outside, looked up at the sky, and felt like you were standing perfectly still while the whole universe moved around you? Well, today we're going to go on this incredible journey to figure out what's really going on up there. We're going to unpack how our planet Earth is constantly on the move through space. Okay, let's jump right in. For a really, really long time, it just seemed like common sense, you know? The sun rises in the morning, it sets at night, the stars all wheel across the sky. It feels like we're the one thing that's not moving. But was that ancient belief actually correct? Let's find out. So our first stop on this trip is to figure out our true place in the solar system. This is a story about how science and just looking up and paying attention completely changed how we see everything. Okay, so check this out. For centuries, the idea on the right, the Ptolemy model, was the one everyone believed. Earth is the star of the show, right in the middle. But then scientists like Copernicus started observing, and they started doing the math, and they realized, wait a minute, this doesn't quite add up. And they proved that the model on the left was the real deal. The sun is at the center, and we, along with all the other planets, are actually the ones moving around it. So if we are moving around the sun, how exactly does that work? The best way to think about it is like a giant, year-long dance. So let's break down the steps of this cosmic dance, shall we? Earth doesn't just wander around space wherever it wants. Nope. Just like a race car has to stay on its track, Earth follows a very specific, set path around the sun. And this special path has a name. And that path is called an orbit. It's as simple as that. So when you hear someone say that Earth orbits the sun, all it means is that our planet is following its own special road all the way around our star. So how long does one full trip, one full lap on this track take us? Exactly 365.25 days. And we call this a year. Now, that little quarter of a day is actually super important. It's the reason we have a leap year every 4 years, just to keep our calendars perfectly synced up with our planet's journey. Now, you might be picturing this orbit as a perfect circle, but it's not quite. It's actually a slight ellipse. The easiest way to imagine this is to think of a circle that's been gently squashed on the sides, making it more of an oval shape, kind of like a racetrack. And this is really important because it means our distance from the sun actually changes a little bit throughout the year. And which way are we moving on this huge racetrack? Well, if you could just float way above our solar system and look down, you would see the Earth moving in an anti-clockwise direction. That's the opposite way the hands on a clock move. Okay, this brings us to a really big question I bet you've wondered about. If our distance from the sun doesn't cause summer and winter, then what does? Let's uncover the real reason for the seasons. You know, this is one of the biggest misconceptions out there. So many people think, oh, it's summer when we're closer to the sun. It just makes sense, right? But believe it or not, that's not it at all. The real answer is so much more interesting, and it has everything to do with a little lean. And here it is, the secret ingredient. Earth is tilted. Seriously, imagine a spinning top. It doesn't usually spin perfectly straight up and down, does it? It's got a bit of a lean to it. Well, Earth is exactly the same. It spins on an axis, that's just an imaginary line from the North Pole to the South Pole, and that axis is always tilted in the same direction as we orbit the sun. So here's how it all works. When the part of the Earth where you live is tilted towards the sunlight hits you more directly. It's like pointing a flashlight straight at a wall. The light is bright and concentrated. That's summer. And when your part of the world is tilted away from the sun, that same sunlight comes in at an angle and gets spread out, bringing way less heat. And that is winter. It's all about the tilts. So it turns out it's not just planets that are orbiting things out there. Our very own planet has objects that orbit it. We call these satellites, and they actually come in 2 different flavors, natural and human-made. But first, what even is a satellite? Well, it's pretty simple. A satellite is just any object in space that's orbiting a larger object. So based on that, can you think of Earth's most famous satellite? I'm sure you got it. On the left, we have our one and only natural satellite, the Moon. It's been orbiting us for billions of years. But on the right, you see a totally different kind. We humans have launched thousands of artificial or human-made satellites into orbit all around our planet. So what are all these human-made satellites doing for us? Honestly, you wouldn't believe how much of our daily life depends on them. There are eyes in the sky, helping us predict the weather. They act like giant mirrors in space, bouncing signals around for our phone calls and internet. They're the magic behind the GPS that tells you how to get to that new pizza place. And some are even floating laboratories, where scientists are doing incredible research as we speak. And one of the most famous satellites of all is the Hubble Space Telescope. This amazing machine orbits Earth once every 95 minutes. It's our eye on the universe, taking millions of breathtaking pictures that help us understand everything out there even better. It's continuing that same journey of discovery that started when we first realized we weren't the center of it all. So, think about it. We've gone from believing we were the stationary heart of the entire universe to understanding our planet's elegant tilted dance around the sun. We've even started sending our own satellites up into the sky to look deeper and deeper into space. It just makes you wonder, doesn't it? As we keep looking up, what are we going to discover next?